Jaya.
Okey. Aku jawab okey. Mic betul.
Okey. Boleh start lagi Zati?
Okey, madam, saya start Nervousnya aku. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to Madam Fazila and to my fellow friends. My name is Nurul Izzati binti Muhammad Fauzi. I'm 21 years old and I'm taking Bachelor of Accountancy. I live at Subang Jaya. Today our group will represent chapter 40, that is conflict and negotiation. But before that, I would like to introduce our group member.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Alia Natasha binti Muhammad Afendi. I am BOA student and I'm 21 years old and now I'm currently at Puncak Alam.
Hi, my name is Nofata Najwa and I'm taking Bachelor of Accounting. I'm 21 years old and I live in Kajang.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Madam Fazila and my fellow friends. I am Nashirina binti Nasrun from Bachelor Business of Management, BBM. I am 23 years old and I came from Sempurna, Sabah.
Good morning, madam. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Yamuna Varian. I'm from Sramban. I'm 24 years old and I'm studying for BBA.
For the introduction of conflict. Conflict can be defined as a relational dispute between two or more parties in which those involved perceive a threat to their interests coming from those on the other side of disagreement. To simplify the definition of conflict, conflict is a clash of interests. For example, Ali likes to work alone and Abu likes to work in a group. Then there has conflict between Abu and Ali because both of them has their own perspective on their work style. Conflict is a natural occurrence in organization, although not always occurring openly or in an extreme form. It can occur at both individual or group level. So there are three major sources of conflict. First, differentiation. Differentiation can happen when people and the tasks are either grouped or split up into function and division. First, we must know what is a functional organization. Functional organization is a widely used organizational structure in which the organization is divided into smaller groups based on specialized functional areas such as finance, marketing, and production. The splitting process produces conflict because it makes the difference in functional orientation and status inconsistency apparent. Why this change can cause to conflict? First, different functions commonly develop different orientation towards the organization's major priorities. Second, their views of what needs to be done to increase organizational performance differ because their task, job, and goal differ. Third, these differences can lead to conflict that can do considerable harm to the organization cohesiveness and functional integration. Performance is reduced. Second, task relationship. Task relationship can occur when organizational tasks are interrelated and affect one another. The development of goods and service depends on the flow of work from one function to another. Each function build on the contribution of other functions. If one function does not do its job well, the ability of the function next in line to perform is compromised and the outcome is likely to be conflict. Third, scarcity of resources. Competition for scarce resource produce conflict. If there aren't enough material and supplies for every worker, then those who do get resource and those who don't are likely to experience conflict. As resources decrease and an organization has to make do with less, department will compete to get those resources. For instance, if budgets are slim, the marketing department may feel like they can make the most of those money by earning new customers. The development team may feel like they can benefit from the money by making more products to sell. Conflict results over resources scarcity.
Hello, I'm Yamuna. Now I'm going to present about elements of conflicts. Organizational conflicts usually involve three elements, which are power, organizational demands, and also worth. These three elements have to match appropriately through necessary organizational arrangements in order to resolve conflicts. The first one is power, is the capacity and means that people have at their disposal to get work done, and also it includes budgetary discretion, personal influence, informations, time, space, staff size, and dependence on others. If used essentially, power creates an atmosphere of cooperation but can generate conflicts when misused. The second one is organizational demand. Is essentially refer to people's expectation regarding a person's job performance. Usually such expectations are high, which can make them rather unrealistic. These expectations are not fulfilled. People feel discouraged, angry, let down, or cheated. Consequently, conflict situations can arise. The last one is worth, which refers to a person's self-esteem. People want to prove their worth in organization. Superior control employees pay. Performance rating, performance appraisal, etc. How much of this that received by a person reflect their worth. An individual may also feel loss of worth if same basic needs are not fulfilled. Conflicts arise from mismatches between power, organizational demand, and feelings of a person's worth. Thank you.
The effect of conflict can be positive or negative. This is because it depends on how the manager creates the organization environment and organizes the situation that occurs in the company. The first positive effect is diffused from more serious conflict. When the relationship between the members is so close, then the conflict in the organization can be minimized, and it can prevent the organization from facing a bigger problem in the future. The second effect of conflict is stimulating the search for new ideas, facts, or resolution, and increased creativity. When the conflict occurred in the organization, The members can take this as an opportunity to seek creative solutions to resolve problems. This is because conflict can inspire members to brainstorming ideas while examining problems from various perspectives. The third effect is increasing cohesion and performance in the organization. When the conflict arises, the performance and cohesion in the organization can be improved. For example, in conflict situation, people in the same group or department will be working together to protect the department from being criticized by others, and this will make them feel more stronger. So in this situation, it shows the cohesion between the members. The last positive effect is promote an assessment of power or ability. When there is conflict, the power of parties involved can be measured. Therefore, this will help the organization to use the power more effectively and correctly in the future. Also, organizations are able to prevent the same thing from happening. Next, I will share how a conflict will affect the organization in a negative way. I will start with the health of members in the organization. The health of members will be affected when they feel stressed at the workplace. And when this happens, it will also affect their work performance and their personal life. Factors that can lead them to feel stressed is when all their opinions or ideas are being ignored, and the members may experience migraine, lost appetite, and problem in sleeping. Thus, the conflict problem should be resolved quickly, and this situation can be prevented. The next effect is weakened output. When the conflict occurs, the member of organization will lose focus from the task, and the company goals will be delayed as they spend more time on gossiping and debating. This will result in low productivity in the organization and possible lack of money, as the goal achieving high profit is failed. Another negative effect is hurt staff retention. When the conflict is being dragged for too long, the members of the organization will become more frustrated and may decide to end their membership. This leads to a negative effect on the organization because members or workers are so important to run a business, help the companies to make decisions, and to achieve the company objective. Lastly, conflict can cause competing affiliation to form among members due to unsatisfied or disagreement in some situations. This is so bad for the company because it will lead to violence among the members and may result in legal problems for members and organization.
Good morning, madam. I'm Yamuna. Now I'm going to present about ways to manage conflict. There are four types of reaction of conflict, which are fighting, negotiating, problem solving, and also designing. Now I'm going to explain about fighting. Fighting is not a beneficial, sound, or gratifying approach in dealing with a conflict situation. It involves tactics, strategic, offensive, defensive positions, losing, winning grounds, and exposure of weak points. Fighting as a way of resolving conflicts can only be useful in courtroom situations where winning and losing becomes byproduct of the judicial process. The second one is negotiating is done towards a settlement with the other party. Negotiating takes place within the existing situation and do not involve problem solving or designing. Third party roles are very important in bringing the conflicting parties together or some common ground for negotiations. The third one is problem solving, which are involved identifying and removing the cause of the conflict as to make the situation normal again. This may not be easy. It also that the situation may not become normal even after removing the identical cause because it has influence of the situation. The last one is that designing is an attempt towards creativity in making the conflict situations normal. It considers conflicts as situations rather than problems. Designing is not restricted to what is already there, but attempts to reach what might be created given a proper understanding of the views and situations of conflict parties. The proposed idea should be appropriate and acceptable to the parties in conflict. Third party participates actively in the designing process rather than being just a meditator. Thank you.
Negotiation. A negotiation is a process in which groups with conflicting interests meet together to make offers, counteroffers, and concessions to each other in an effort to resolve their differences. Managers need to be involved in negotiation with others since disagreements that can lead to conflict are most likely to happen in an organization. With the inclusion of the manager, joint decision can be made so that both parties and their differences in preference is satisfied. Negotiation strategy. Negotiation strategy have two strategies, which is distributive negotiation and integrative negotiation. Distributive negotiation has two types, which is hard distributive negotiation and soft distributive negotiation. Hard distributive negotiation strategy lead to in a win-lose situation. Soft distributive negotiation strategy is where one party tries to find ways to meet the other party's desire. Integrative negotiation is a type of negotiation in which mutual problem-solving techniques are used to analyze the assets that are to be divided between parties.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Madam Fazila and my fellow friends. We have been presenting the definition and strategies of negotiation. However, what is the process involved in order to make the negotiation successful? This is why I will be presenting the 5 steps of negotiation process. First process is preparation and planning. Before starting the negotiation process, the parties involved must gather some information such as the nature of the conflict, the history leading to the negotiation, the person involved, the perception of the conflict, the goal for the negotiation, and the strategies to achieve that goal. In a simple word, first process of negotiation is who and what is the negotiation about. The parties involved must know the basic of the negotiation in order for them to acknowledge the goal for both parties and how they can achieve it. Second step is definition of ground rules. At the second stage, the ground rules and procedures for the negotiation to take place are defined. This is where all the specific details are included, such as who will do the negotiating, where the negotiation will be done, whether there are time constraints or limitation of the issue to be discussed, or whether there are specific procedures to be followed, and so forth. In this stage is where all the parties involved in the negotiation must know all of the specific details, as it is important to ensure the negotiation successful. Third step is clarification and justification. At this stage, the parties involved start to explaining, clarifying, implying, and justifying the demand. This stage is more like an opportunity to inform and educate the other parties on the issue by providing some supporting documents. Fourth step is bargaining and problem solving. At the fourth stage, both parties will reach to a good agreement. In a simple word, this is the stage where both parties will start to bargaining and solving the conflict and negotiating. If the negotiation is in a good term, maybe both parties will reach to an agreement. Fifth and last step is closure and implementation. At the last stage, both parties will formalize the agreement, which means that both parties will signing a contract. And this is also the stage where they can develop procedures for implementation and monitoring if it's needed. As I said just now, that this stage is required formal, which is both parties have to signing a contract. Or if it's less informal, the negotiation will just ending with a handshake. That's all from me. Thank you.
Conclusion. So for the conclusion, conflict can happen at any time and anywhere. So as a people, we should play a good role to prevent it from it is happen. The Carnegie said, listen first. Give your opponents a chance to talk. Let them finish. Do not resist, defend or debate. This only raises barriers. Try to build bridges of understanding.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Quiz time. Ada suara tak? Hello.
Boleh dengar.
Okay. Okay, siapa nak jawab yang pertama ni? Fill in the blank. A conflict is rational dispute between two or more parties in which those involved to their interest coming from those on the other side of the disagreement. Siapa tahu jawapan dia apa yang ke tempat kosong tu? Siapa nak jawab?
Jawab dekat chat box pun boleh kalau tak nak unmute yourself.
Betul. Yeay. Betul Subhashini, Hughes and lepas tu Yamini. Thank you for respond. Okay, jom kita tunjuk jawapan. Next question. Siapa nak jawab? Which one of these is negative effect of conflict? A. Diffuse more serious conflict. B. Increase group cohesion and performance. C. Affect health of members. Siapa nak jawab? Yeay. Betul. Thank you. Thank you Nila. Thank you Hugh. Shen. You. Sorry kalau salah sebut. Kausalia. Thank you. Okay, kita proceed with the third question. Okay. Siapa nak seorang, kalau nak seorang boleh ke untuk bagi tahu step untuk ni. Match the number below with the correct step of negotiation process. Buka mic kan? Ada siapa nak volunteer? It's easy. Okay, ke seorang nak buat yang first step? Yang pertama.
First step, preparation and planning.
Sorry, siapa tu?
Saya Subha. First step is preparation and planning.
Okay. Betul.
Second step, definition of ground rules.
Allah, dah ketiga dah. Next. Yang keempat.
Bargaining and problem solving.
Betul. Yang kelima.
Closure and implementation. Okay. Allah. Okay, itu saja daripada saya dan rakan-rakan. Madam, do you have any question about our presentation? Sorry Madam, kalau ada kekurangan daripada pihak kami, ada masalah suara ke, ada kekurangan di mana-mana ke, saya minta maaf daripada pihak kami, minta maaf.
Okay, thank you so much Izzati for the presentation, Izzati and friends semua. Okay, group presentation.
Madam?
Yes.
Sorry kacau. Saya ada record